Surviving the horrors of war is a process that's unique to every veteran who has fought for his or her country. Kara Vanninger introduces us to a tough World War II veteran who not only beat the odds to come home, he was recently honored with a poignant flight in an historic aircraft.
Goering had said, no, they'll never bomb Berlin. Well, you don't keep America down like that, brother. You don't want to make a mark like that because you're going to get hurt.
On May 19, 1944, during a return trip from one of these missions to Berlin, Rogers Raiders, a B-17 bomber, was shot down by enemy aircraft, and its crew, including waist gunner Clarence Cherry, ended up ditching in the North Sea. They quickly climbed aboard a raft dropped by their squadron above, and were picked up 26 hours later by Danish fishermen, then transported to a British ship that brought them back to their base in England. So common was it for planes and crew to be lost, the men had been presumed dead, and their barracks already cleaned out for the next crew.
I'll be coming up on 90 years old. I was the youngest on my crew, 19 years old. I still think the same way about my crew.
Mr. Cherry and his crew flew a total of 29 missions, surviving the war against all calculated odds. 70 years later, the Liberty Foundation invited him to fly in their restored World War II bomber, named after the famous Memphis Belle and used in the 1990 film. The Liberty Foundation was begun by Don Brooks as a way to honor veterans, including his father, Elton, who was a tail gunner during the war.
Generators, 4 on. Avionics switch is on. Inverter.
The Liberty Foundation is almost totally volunteer operated.
Liberty Foundation primarily exists as a tool to take, in this case, a World War II flying museum, historical, airplane, around to different cities throughout the United States, providing historical flight experiences and educating the public on the contributions that our veterans have made on our behalf throughout the years, focusing primarily on World War II.
Today will be Mr. Cherry's first time back up in a B-17 since that fateful night over the North Sea. Before we board, Captain Bob Hill follows up an in-flight safety briefing with a sobering account of what the young men faced during those fierce, desperate battles in the sky.
I like to tell people that when you get on this airplane, you're going to experience maybe a taste of what these people went through. But if you were an aircrew combat member on a B-17 or any heavy bomber flying out of England in the 8th Air Force in World War II, you had a 77% chance that you would not be coming home. You had a 1 in 4 chance that you would survive your mission. We lost in 2.5 years of air combat, just the 8th Air Force alone, 26,000 killed in airplanes, with another 100,000 casualties. The environment that these guys had to fly in was unknown at the time. We had never done anything like that before. The methodology of warfare was all new. We had never, as a country, conducted strategic bombing campaigns before. All new concepts. On a ground war, as that war evolves and changes, generals make decisions. But in World War II, if you were in a bomber over Fortress Europe and things were evolving and changing, there were no generals up there to make decisions. You had 23-year-old pilots making decisions.
While it's impossible to experience the freezing cold of high altitudes, the restrictive oxygen masks, and the ever-present fear and anxiety, it was immediately clear how cramped the crews were, even with most of the radio equipment gone from the aircraft. As if claustrophobia inside the plane wasn't enough, the bombers had to stay in formation, even as enemy fighters came rushing relentlessly at the cockpit, looping back again and again for the kill. Shortly after takeoff, we were allowed to crawl into the cockpit to the glass nose that offered stunning views on that sunny July day, but would have been an intensely stressful place for the bombardier and navigator. But perhaps not as stressful as being sealed into the ball turret gun position underneath the aircraft. Further back in the plane, Mr. Cherry was at his old waist gunner position. Of course.
It's just the same. It hasn't changed. I just got older. Things don't leave you. Things you heard in the aircraft, you still hear.
Keeping these memories alive is what the Liberty Foundation is all about. And by doing so, they hope to educate and inspire people in every city they visit. And by reaching out to veterans and including them on flights, the Liberty Foundation strives to honor their service, along with the sacrifice of so many others.